Hello, welcome back to Luna's Aura. I mentioned this in the ending of my coming back video, that I wanted to talk a little bit about my thoughts on religion and faith and spirituality and how I think all of that connects to astrology. As you know, I've offhandedly mentioned, like, that's so Virgo of me and, like, things like that. But I think I started getting into astrology in 6th grade. And I'm about to be a senior. And it took me a long time, but I think last year I really decided I think it's, I think it's real. And that was kind of a weird realization to come to, because a lot of people, they're like, astrology's for fun, and, I don't really know if I 100% believe in it, but horoscopes are cool, and sorry about Dottie. I know, you always want to be a part of the video, you do. You do. You used to do this when I had online therapy. You'd always come to the camera. But yeah, I've realized really recently that I really do believe in astrology and how it affects us and how the planets affect us, and I don't consider myself religious, which I've kind of been toiling with recently on a more private note. I haven't really talked to a lot of friends about it or anything, but I think I really believe in the planets as powerful entities that do affect and protect us, but not as people or gods, it's strange, and I don't really know how to explain it. For those of you that don't know, Jupiter is usually associated with luck, and instead of wishing people good luck, I'll say may Jupiter be in your favor, that kind of thing. And I don't know, I've been thinking about it more, but I don't consider myself religious. I just kind of have these spiritual practices and things like that, and I feel I don't know, nowadays it's so mainstream to say that you're spiritual, and I guess I wouldn't call it spiritual, I would just call it being connected with myself. And astrology and those types of things do help me feel connected with myself. Yesterday I got some pretty bad news, and I'll be making another video talking about that. It's not too horrible, it's just more health related stuff. But, I kind of reminded myself at the end of the day, that in the true spirit of Venus, I have to keep loving and caring for myself and carrying on. So I'd say the two planets I do really connect with most are probably Jupiter and Venus, just from a purely the ones that I think of most often. And I basically plan my life around the moon. I believe the moon has gone into Gemini today, which is probably why I'm so I need to get some more video content out there. But yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on, I don't know, what I believe, I guess. So yeah, I would consider myself an atheist. I don't believe in a god, I don't believe in an afterlife, but I do believe in, these things in our galaxy that do affect us, and in some ways care for us. Obviously, I'm not trying to tell you what to believe, what not to believe. It's just what I think. But I also wanted to go over some of the things that, help me feel connected, and, things I do to ground myself and connect more to astrology and, have my own personal little faith, I guess. On first note, I know a lot of people are crystal people. I am not really a crystal person. I have a couple. I have blue kyanite, a couple things that I've picked up from stores, like going to friends, favorite places and stuff like that. But the most important crystals to me is most likely rose quartz. I am very much a loving person, and I think I've talked about previously how I'm also a very angry person, but all of my anger only comes from either love for myself, love for people, love for the planet, things like that. I only ever truly get angry about something that I care about. So rose quartz really helps me feel connected either to those I love and loving myself. And having an autoimmune disorder, it's really important to remember to love yourself. And I said the other day, because I have my colonoscopy coming up and everything, I said to my friend Dante the other day that even if the foundation of my temple is more rocky than others, it's still a temple that deserves to be worshipped the same as any other. And that's really important to me, is that, people talk about worshiping your body and things like that, which I think is really important, but it seems like it's always these people that have pretty healthy lives, and it's hard to look at your body as a temple when it's constantly trying to fight you. But I just have to remind myself that even if it's constantly fighting me, it gives me so much in return, it's still taking care of me the only way it knows how. But on the note of really caring about people around me, my friend Dante and I, a couple months back, probably almost over half a year at this point, we hung out for the first time in a really long time after some bad things had happened to the both of us, which not gonna go into detail about that, simply because I don't want to. But it was a really important day for the both of us. We got these matching rose quartz hearts. So, I don't know, we had something to connect us and, kind of a vow to see each other more often, which luckily we've done. He comes to the animal refuge with me 3 times a week. And, we talk all the time. But I would say that crystals don't really have the effect for me of I keep them out on tables and things, but I always carry a rose quartz around with me in my little wallet case with my keys, and I keep this in a little bowl of some other crystals and a whole bunch of rocks, so just to kind of keep out on display. Another rose quartz related item. This is my pendulum. Yes, Dottie. It's so fun and exciting for you. You can't bite my pendulum. She's so excited by all the things on the floor. Dottie, I'm trying to make a video. I know. You want to be part of the video. I know. But I'm trying to record. Okay? Get the hairs out of your whiskers. But yeah, so this is my pendulum. As you can see, there's clear quartz, amethyst, and rose quartz. For those of you that don't know how a pendulum works, you basically put it out and, you say, show me yes. And so the micro movements in your hands will decide a direction for yes, which right now it's left to right. And then you ask it a yes or no question. So it'll go left to right if it's yes, and it'll go any other direction if it's no. It can go in circles sometimes, and it's an intuition thing. A lot of people think that pendulums are magical and they're going to give you all the secrets to the universe, which is simply not true. It's all based on stuff that you could personally already know. So I could say, am I going to have a good day today? And before Dottie started attacking it, it was going left to right, which my day started pretty good so far. So I would say it's pretty true, and I think I'll have a good day today, because I have some shopping later to do with my mom to get ready for my colonoscopy. Yay! I don't go back to my pendulum very often. It's kind of something I bring out for fun for friends. But I would say, you know, if I did need to like really test my intuition on something, I would probably use my pendulum. On a slightly different note, I use, you know, celestial bodies and astrology in a lot of my work, a lot of my like day-to-day language. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's such Libra energy, mainly because I think Libra energy is like very important and balanced and a lot about love and aesthetics. But people will be like, what does that mean? I'm not a Libra. And I'm like, I know, it's giving Libra. Like, don't know how to explain it to you. But I took ceramics last year, and a lot of my work, while not fully finished, was heavily astrology based. And I actually thought about next year, because I'll be taking AP ceramics, doing my focus on astrology. Probably won't end up doing that because I have a more complex idea that I'm gonna work out. But I tried to redeem myself in another piece that broke apart, but I kind of think it looks cooler broken apart. The Aquarius symbol broke off. I didn't just miss that one. Dottie knocked over my camera. I'm losing a little bit of patience with you today. So I have this box. Got the sun and the moon on it and the little star topper to take the top off. I have a meteor and a rain cloud, which isn't really like celestial body related. But either way, it inspires a lot of my art, some of my writing. But I would say, other than things like being out in nature and, you know, kind of like deep thinking to myself, which is a lot of how I connect astrologically, the main thing that I use is tarot. And this is another one of those things that I didn't really fully believe in for a while, but it's also another one of those things that is intuition based, like the pendulum. So, you know, it's all based on where do your hands lead you when you ask this question. So obviously it's less based on the movements in your hands and more so based on a mixture of luck and faith and your own personal thoughts. But anytime I do a reading, I tick like crazy. If you don't know, I have a tick, which I don't usually do in videos because it usually happens when I'm not focused or I'm really cold. But I'll like move my head like that. Now that I've fake done it, I'm gonna like actually do it. Anytime people like bring it up or I bring it up or I fake do it, I end up actually doing it. But my hands go crazy, I tick like crazy, and it's like to direct me to the right card. It's really weird. And I know that seems like one of those things where it's like, that's ridiculous and you're overplaying it. Like, I promise you in my day-to-day practices, like, this is how it works. So I figured I would do a little reading for you guys to kind of show you how it works and what it looks like when I do a reading, if Dottie will let me. Will you let me? Will you let me do my reading? So as you can see my hands. I'm gonna move the book to the side. But you have your cards. A lot of people say that these are difficult to shuffle. I don't really know why. Then again, I am a card collector, so it doesn't really bother me. I have shuffled how many times? Every time I get a new set of cards, I shuffle. Not a tarot card collector, a playing card collector. This is the only tarot set that I have. I went to Books A Million and I was like, this is the one that speaks to me the most. It's also like pretty much all women and all people of color. And it's a really nice intro deck, I would say, because it has a book that goes with it. But when I first got this deck, I was like, you know, what gender is your energy, and, you know, what sign are you? And I asked all these things. She's a Leo, and she's extremely rude and to the point, which I don't blame her for. I used to be really annoying, and I'd ask the same types of questions all over again, and I would already know the answer when I asked them, and she'd be like, girl, you know the answer already. Like, she would give me the most spiteful cards, and I'd be like, okay, I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, she's a little bit of a bitch sometimes, but you know what? She's done me well, so I don't blame her. But I'm going to do a very simple past, present, future. You want to get all your cards spread out, and of course Dottie wants to stay in the frame. So then past, present, future is 3. Past, present, future. And you just want to go wherever your hands are feeling. So if you'll notice, whenever I like go, my hand like kind of turns in the direction, and then I just feel around and see what my hand does. So I'm gonna try to focus on the cards instead of watching myself do it in the camera. I don't usually talk when I do these. So okay, so that's our first card. And then I sort of try to line out all the cards again so I can, see what I'm doing. My hands usually aren't this certain about where I need to be looking. That's present. Usually it's like, oh, we'll go this way, and now, oh, what's over here? So it's really staying solid in one place, which is useful for this video. Let's see. And again, I know it seems like I'm overselling it. This is literally how it works for me. And that is future. Okay. So, go ahead and put the other cards away. Sometimes people want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Sometimes that means something to them. Also, sometimes cards will fall out when you're shuffling, and that means something to them. 6 of Wands is on the bottom. That doesn't mean anything to me. So, I'm going to go ahead and put the other cards over here. And we are going to take these 3. And we're going to flip them. So these are going to be opposite for you, I believe. So I'm just going to go based off of what I'm looking at, because that'll be easier for me. So I'm going to start at past, 2 of Pentacles, present, the Moon, and future, the Fool. So, this is already looking really good for me. I know the Fool's new beginnings, so that means there are good things coming in the future. 2 of Pentacles, I believe, is balancing and financially related, and the Moon is more sensitivity and intuition, which is kind of where I am right now. So I always pretty much read the descriptions on the cards, but I will go ahead and show you. I do reverses, I just happened not to pull any this time. So here is the 2 of Pentacles, and here is the Moon, and here is the Fool. I believe I showed that one off in the intro if I decided to keep that clip. But now we're going to go through my little book right here and see what these mean.